In May of 2022, a content creator from Phoenix, Arizona, began a simple live stream on TikTok from inside his apartment. He was relaxed, speaking to his audience as he usually did during late-night sessions, until something or someone interrupted the calm. What followed was broadcast in real time to hundreds of viewers. The moment he walked off camera to check a noise and never returned. When police arrived, the door was locked from the inside. His phone was still streaming, and the viewers, the only witnesses to his final moments, reported hearing a voice they could not identify. This is a documented case, a real event analyzed by digital forensics experts, police investigators, and online archivists. And yet, more than 2 years later, there is no rational explanation for what happened. It was just after 11:40 p.m. When the stream began, the apartment was dim, illuminated by the soft blue glow of LED strips running along the back wall. Outside, Phoenix was experiencing an early summer heat wave, the kind that leaves the city sweltering even after midnight. The streamer, whose name we won't use due to the nature of the case, sat at his small desk, sipping water from a metal cup. The camera angle framed him from the chest up, with a dark hallway visible behind his right shoulder. This hallway, viewers would later note, was usually closed off in his streams. He greeted the small audience joining in, joking about the temperature and the fact that his AC unit sounded possessed. For the first 5 minutes, everything was normal. He talked, he scrolled through comments. He adjusted the camera, but then, at 11:47 p.m., the stream picked up the first anomaly. A faint thump. Distant, muffled, coming from somewhere inside the apartment. He didn't notice it immediately, but the chat did. Several comments appeared. Did anyone else hear that? Bro, something fell. Turn around. When he finally noticed the spam, he paused. Wait. What noise? He asked, glancing at the hallway behind him. He listened. Silence. He shrugged and continued talking. But something had shifted, if not in him, then in the atmosphere of the room. The LED lights behind him flickered once. Briefly, the camera picked up a faint static popping sound, like a microphone brushing against fabric, even though he wasn't moving. At 11:52 p.m., the sound came again, louder, this time. A dull, hollow impact, like a cabinet door hitting a wall. He froze, turned his head slowly toward the hallway. What the hell was that? A whispered. His voice wasn't exaggerated for the camera. It carried genuine confusion and a thin layer of unease. He stood up, adjusting his headset so it hung around his neck. The camera wobbled as he pushed the desk slightly with his knee. Hang on, guys, he said, stepping away from the frame. I just need to check something. The microphone cut his sentence short with a burst of static. He walked off screen into the hallway, disappearing into the darkness. The viewers typed frantically as the audio continued broadcasting. At first, they heard only footsteps, then the creaking sound of a door opening. Then silence. The camera kept recording the empty chair. The soft blue lights glowed behind it. The AC hummed. He didn't come back. Minutes began to pass. 1 minute. 3 minutes. 5 minutes. Viewers stayed because they expected him to return. But at the 7-minute mark, something strange happened. The hallway light, which had been off, flicked on for half a second, then off again. There were no footsteps, no voices, no movement visible in the reflection of the LED strips. Just silence and an empty room. This would be the last moment where normalcy existed in the stream, because at the 9-minute mark, the microphone captured a new sound, one that no investigator has been able to conclusively identify. A whisper, faint, almost swallowed by the static. Don't. The voice did not belong to the streamer. It was softer, higher, and very close to the microphone. Despite no one standing near it, the viewers didn't understand what they were hearing, but they felt it. Something was wrong, and the night was about to descend into its most unnerving chapter. At 11:59 p.m., exactly 12 minutes after he left the frame, the stream captured the sound that would later become the centerpiece of the investigation. A low, slow scraping, as if something heavy was being dragged across a wooden surface. But his apartment didn't have wooden floors. It was carpeted. Viewers flooded the comments. Colin, WTF is happening? Is this a prank? Dude, answer us! No response. Then at 12:03 a.m., his voice finally returned. But not on camera. It came from somewhere deep inside the apartment, picked up faintly by the microphone. Hold on. Something's not A sharp impact cut him off a single toot. Not like a fall, more like a body hitting a wall. Thin. Silence. A full, heavy, suffocating silence that made live viewers feel as though the air itself was tightening. At 12:04 a.m., the static began. Not normal static. This was rhythmic. A pattern of 3, pause, 3, pause, 3. Some viewers said it sounded like knocking. Others claimed it resembled Morse code, though forensic analysis later concluded it didn't match any known sequences. The stream continued broadcasting an empty room. No movement. No shadows. Just that steady, unnatural pattern. At 12:22 a.m., 18 minutes after he first disappeared, the static abruptly stopped, cut off mid-beat, and for the first time, the apartment became truly silent. The stream continued. The camera continued. The viewers waited. But nothing else happened. He never returned. The live ended automatically at 1:03 a.m., when TikTok's idle timeout detected no user activity. It took another hour before one of the viewers contacted the police. They arrived at the apartment around 2:10 a.m. They found something they did not expect, and that deepened the mystery forever. If you are enjoying these true mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to follow all our stories. When officers reached the complex, the building hallways were quiet. The heat of the night had softened, replaced by the faint hum of distant highway traffic. The apartment door showed no signs of forced entry. No scratches. No broken frame. No damage to the lock. They knocked repeatedly. No answer. The stream viewer who had called police insisted that something had happened inside, so the officers contacted building management and gained entry. This is where the case takes its most unsettling turn. The inside lock was engaged, the kind that can only be turned manually from the inside. By all logic, he was still in the apartment, but he wasn't. Police moved methodically through the rooms. Bedroom, empty bathroom, empty closet, empty kitchen. Untouched, no signs of struggle. No overturned furniture. No broken objects. Even the cup he had been drinking from remained on the desk. Condensation still visible. The only room left was the hallway closet. A narrow, shallow compartment he rarely used. The door was closed. An officer opened it. Inside were only a broken vacuum cleaner, a box of old cables, a winter coat, and the strangest detail of all, a patch of carpet that was warm, warmer than the surrounding floor. It measured nearly 5 degrees Fahrenheit, higher than the rest of the apartment. Forensics later confirmed there was no electrical source under that part of the floor. The warmth could not be explained. The police expanded their search to the entire building. Roof, clear, fire escapes, undisturbed security cameras. No footage of him leaving it. Was as if the streamer had evaporated inside his own home. But the apartment held one more clue. Something subtle, easy to miss, but deeply disturbing. The hallway door, the one he opened during the live stream, had a faint smear on the frame. Not blood, not dirt, something oily, transparent, and slightly iridescent under the LED lights. Tests by the lab couldn't categorize it as any known household substance. It wasn't biological. It wasn't synthetic. It simply was just like the static pattern, just like the warm floor, just like the voice captured on the mic, all pieces of a puzzle without a center. As investigators examined the camera setup, they found another anomaly that viewers hadn't noticed in real time. The camera had shifted, very slightly, not enough to be obvious, but enough to confirm one thing. Something had been in the room, something that wasn't him. The official police investigation lasted 6 months. Digital forensics continued for over a year. Online archivists still analyze the footage today, but the findings contradict each other. The digital forensics report, experts analyzing the audio isolated the whisper. The voice was not consistent with his. Pitts analysis showed it belonged to someone approximately 20 to 30 years old, with a lung capacity lower than average. Speaking from within 1 foot of the microphone impossible, because he had already left the room. The rhythmic static, when cleaned up, revealed harmonics that resembled human breath, but layered, almost like two signals overlapping. But the most unsettling discovery came from the final seconds before the camera stopped recording. A frame-by-frame enhancement revealed a shadow cast on the far wall, for 2 frames only. Too tall to be his. Too thin. The proportions were wrong. Investigators ruled out light from passing cars, shadows from ceiling fans, or glitches. It remained unidentified. The physical search dogs were brought in. They tracked his scent through the apartment, into the hallway, into the narrow closet, and then it simply ended. As though the trail dissolved, not continued, not broken. Ended. The working theory became that he had somehow left the building before police arrived. But building security footage contradicted this from every angle. No doors opened, no windows, no fire escapes, no roof access. He simply did not exist anywhere beyond the walls of his home. The witnesses, over 100 people watching the live stream, were interviewed. Many remembered the sound that cut him off. Some recalled a whisper, but a few described something investigators initially dismissed as hysteria. A shape, a reflection, a movement behind the chair. Their descriptions varied, but one element repeated. It looked like someone was standing just outside the camera's field of view. Whether this was a trick of the light, or something far more disturbing, no one could confirm. The missing hours phone logs revealed he had sent no messages after beginning the stream, but there was one unsent draft in his notes app, time-stamped 11:53 p.m. It read, "There's someone." It ended abruptly. By the end of the investigation, only one conclusion was officially recorded: subject missing, circumstances unknown. Unofficially, investigators admitted the truth. Nothing about the disappearance followed any known pattern of human behavior. Today, the live stream remains archived in fragments across the internet. TikTok removed the original, but dozens of viewers captured screen recordings before it disappeared. Digital archivists have cataloged more than 20 versions, each slightly degraded, but all showing the same unsettling progression. The thump, the whisper, the static, the half-spoken sentence, the sudden end. But there is one version uploaded anonymously 2 months after the incident that contains extra footage, 6 seconds at the end. Footage that wasn't in any official copy. In it, the camera continues to record the empty room, but the LED lights behind the chair begin to flicker rapidly. The audio hum shifts, as though something is breathing directly into the mic, and then, for just a moment, the camera captures a blurred shape moving past the doorway. Tall, colorless, silent. Some claim it's an editing trick. Others insist it's a genuine extract from the corrupted live stream file. Authorities do not acknowledge its authenticity. The apartment was cleared out in 2023. New tenants moved in. None have reported anything unusual, except for one, a young woman who lived there for 3 months before abruptly breaking her lease. She later told a friend, who contacted online investigators, that she often heard soft knocking at night, a faint voice saying, "Wait," and footsteps in the hallway when she knew she was alone. She also said that sometimes, when walking past the closet, she felt the air turn warm, just for a moment. The case remains open. No body, no trace, no confirmed sightings. Only a live stream viewed in real time by hundreds of people, documenting the final minutes of a man whose disappearance remains one of the most unsettling digital mysteries of the decade, and perhaps the first recorded case of someone vanishing, not into the world outside, but into the dark space just beyond the edge of a camera frame. Some mysteries leave behind clues, others leave behind theories, but this one, the disappearance of a streamer in the middle of a live broadcast, leaves behind something far more disturbing. Evidence that something happened without offering anything close to an explanation. A locked apartment, a whisper not belonging to the victim, a warm patch of carpet, and a half-spoken sentence the world will never hear finished. Whatever happened in that apartment in Phoenix in 2022 is still debated today, but no one who watched that live stream will ever forget the moment the camera kept rolling, long after the man behind it was gone.